I'm 57 now and making the greatest comeback in Northern California broadcasting history. Drake Davis is the name. Remember that because I've been trying to get in this market since I was 14. I'm a washed up music jock from the late 70s, 80s, early 90s from Sacramento, and then Portland, Oregon as well. I was looking for communication degrees and I ran across the Becca degree. This is the only one like it in the state. Broadcast and electronic communication arts. I knew housing was going to be an issue, but I'm like, I'll deal with it. This is a special degree, and being a former disc jockey from Sacramento, this is where I always wanted to work. So if I was going back in radio after a 25-year hiatus, or voice work or news or whatever I'm going to do with the degree, San Francisco market was it for me, baby. I've been homeless about 3 times since I've been here. Mostly it's because the school has lost my tuition check. So anyway, I ended up by the yucca bush there in the fall of 2016. Dean of Student Services took me under their arm. They got me into a dorm. I basically paid about 90% of my money for rent. And it was a good deal, $900 a month to share a place with 2 other people. That's a 2-bedroom, but you know what? This is $200 a month.
Well, with housing, it's very complex. There is something called the VI-SPDAT, is the intake process, which is a vulnerability index. And so depending on how basically vulnerable someone is on the streets, puts them on a priority listing within the community. And so if someone is more ill, more disabled than others on the list, that can actually move them up ahead of the list and move them to housing faster. And those are basically policies and regulations that we have to abide by from the national level. And those were decisions that have taken years in the making, and that communities have to adjust to. And a lot of that was to do is basically to get the hardest to serve off the streets first, because usually those are take the most amount of resources to provide and to reintegrate in the communities.
There's so much need. I'm sure there's tons of people waiting in line to try to get housing who are veterans. So I've been on like kind of a waiting list. This managed to fall in my lap here. And, you know, I just feel like I'll make it. We're gonna stay here and stick it out. You keep those ears on, baby, because I'm making a comeback and I'm gonna get some young chicks in their late 30s, early 40s. All right, thanks for listening.